Good afternoon, everybody. Doug Jenkins from the Findlay and Hancock County Chamber of Commerce as we celebrate member anniversaries live on Facebook and LinkedIn. Joining me today, Chelsea Steinman with Sweet Home Team Key Realty, 10-year member now of the Chamber of Commerce. Chelsea, time flies when you're having fun, right?
It sure does. You're right about that.
So let's talk just a little bit about how you got
It's been good.
into.
It's been good, Doug.
Oh, you know what? It looks like our delay is causing some issues here. Let me give 1 second for everything to sync back up.
Okay.
Uh, there we go. Looks like we're all right now. So you've got to tell us a little bit about how you got into real estate to begin with and just what the last 10 years have looked like for you.
Yeah. So originally, when I wasn't even thinking about becoming a real estate agent, I thought I wanted to flip houses. My very first house I bought was actually foreclosed on. I bought it with no responsibilities. I feel like I hardly had a job, and I was buying a house. And I thought I wanted to flip houses and just fix them up and move on. I never thought about even becoming an agent. And there was a class offered in Toledo that just talked about real estate. And I went to the class, and it was all about becoming a real estate agent. And and then I was like, okay, well, maybe I can take some classes and I'll just learn something. I won't actually become an agent. And I took the first class, ended up liking it, took the second class, ended up taking all four, got my real estate license, and the rest is history. And then actually I wanted to like hype up you guys too, because one of the first things after I became an agent, I wanted to be part of the community, and I knew the best way to do that was getting involved with the chamber as well. So yeah, it's been a fun ride with the chamber.
I have to ask about the house flipping. One, did you feel like you were pretty handy going into it? And two, was it all those house flipping shows on HGTV at the time that got you headed in that direction, or what made you have an interest in that to begin
Yeah.
with?
Well, my dad was very handy. I wouldn't say I'm handy, but I knew it would be something fun for my dad and I to do together. And I don't even know if like the like house flipping shows were a thing back then. I mean, it was only 10 years ago, but I feel like Joanna and Chip Gaines I don't know, were they around 10 years ago? I can't remember.
I have no idea. I feel like they've been flipping houses ever since HGTV was a thing, but that's really cool. That's cool that you got into it
Yeah,
for
that's true.
something for you and your dad to do together. And now it's just blossomed into what's been a very successful career for you.
Yeah. I'm definitely blessed for sure. It's been fun.
Let's talk about the biggest changes you've seen in the real estate injury. See, we're live. I can't even talk right. The real estate industry over your 10 years of being a chamber member here.
Yeah, it's I feel like every year is something different. There's always something new happening. The market's changing. Prices have gone up quite a bit in the last 10 years, which has been very interesting. Also, I feel like if I had the cash to buy when I first started in real estate, I should have bought more properties. But it's been, it's ever changing. And I would say it's still, I feel like throughout all 10 years, it's been a seller's market. And I feel like it's never, at least, I don't know if it's because of the recession, if we're still recovering from the recession, but I feel like it's been a strong seller's market. And it continues to be a strong seller's market too. But yeah, I actually looking up some numbers too before I got on this call, just to like see what the market's doing. And I don't know. If somebody likes numbers, this is a good to know. But yeah, when I took the notes, it said there's 89 active houses and 72 contingent, which means the houses are still selling quickly. And I do think, and it said there's 321 houses that have sold in the last 4 months. And I think the beginning of the summer is when it's usually the busiest time of the year, because in the last 30 days, there's only been 54 houses, which isn't even a fourth of the 321. So yeah, so I guess the current market too is still pretty strong.
It's interesting
Um,
that you've pretty well worked always in a
yeah.
seller's market. You when I guess when you started, it's probably right about the time where things started to turn around there, where it had been a buyer's market coming out of the recession, but it really turned quickly, and especially in the Findlay and Hancock County area. And you're very active in the chamber here as both a chamber ambassador. We see you out at ribbon cuttings and with our community service events, and also our leads group that formed about a year ago. And what's really cool about the leads group is you keep us informed on what's going on in the real estate industry through a quarterly presentation that you do. And the one that I found really interesting the last couple of times that you've done it, you've talked about a big change coming into when you go to buy or sell a home right now in terms of the contract you have with a realtor. I was wondering if you can give us the Cliff's Notes version of that, although you probably want to read the real version of it before you get into a contract. But in a short amount of time, what has changed or what is changing?
Yeah, so it's very interesting, and I'm still getting used to it because the change officially started August 1st, and it's going to go nationwide August 17th. That buyers, if they want to look at a house, it's not that they're looking at houses for free, but they can no longer, like if they were to call me they want to see one of my listings and they call me, I actually have to get them to sign an agreement with me to see the house. So that's something that's different that all real estate agents nationwide are going to have to do. And the term can be short because I know it's hard to commit to somebody when you just met them like a half hour before. So yeah, it's interesting, but yeah. So and there are buyers that are going to say no, I don't want to sign that, and they do have an option to do like an unrepresented buyer agreement. But that basically it's if they do that, I can't help. Before I could help them write the contract. Now I have to basically say, well, just give me your offer. I can't help you with it. And I have to, yeah, it's very interesting how this is all going to shake out. If that makes sense. I feel like I maybe jumped around a little bit, but basically buyers are going to have to sign something to see a house.
Well, the bottom line is when you go into, I mean, when you buy a house, it's going to be one of the largest investments of your life. You want to have somebody there that you can trust and somebody that knows their way around this type of paperwork. It's important to have that conversation. So, Chelsea, if somebody wants to start their conversation with you when it comes time to buy a home or sell a home, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can easily call me or text me. My cell phone number, I can give it. It's 419-957-2964. I am on Facebook and Instagram, the Sweet Home Team, Key Realty, and my email address also. But I would say call me or text me. That's probably the easiest. So yeah.
Well, make sure you do that. Chelsea, I appreciate you being a chamber member here for 10 years. I appreciate you joining us here today, especially with the weird lag that we're having. It's almost like we're live via satellite and you're like halfway across the world. We're just waiting back and forth on that. But you not only have you dealt with that fine, you've dealt with
Yeah,
all the
I
things
need like
going on
a
in the real
earpiece.
estate industry fine.
Yeah.
Chelsea, once again, thanks for
We'll roll
joining
with it.
us this afternoon, and we will talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Talk to you later.